We haven't done the 1 minute intro yet, right? Yeah, we will. We'll make it work. Good morning from the bright and sunny Queensland. We are here in the lovely Beanley city of Logan for the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships Division 1. This is day 2. We are so excited to bring you a matchup between Half Moon and Chimichanga. Avril Tam here, joined by Daniel Clinton. Lovely to be here with you, Daniel.
Lovely to be here again, Avril. It is a hot day, a humid day. Humidity index about 75%, so whilst it's only 24 degrees, it feels somewhere about 26, so a warm day out there on the field. I'm glad to be sitting under the shade with you.
Yeah.
Ready to watch some great Ultimate.
For sure. I reckon it feels already more like 28, and it's not even 9 o'clock yet. So it's going to be very different conditions compared to yesterday, where it was overcast, a bit cooler. There was some wind and some rain. So let's see what these conditions bring to day 2.
Shirley Chimichanga coming out on the field. So we'll have a look at the team lists. Half Moon, a rough day for them yesterday, 0-2. And based on the names, you're a little bit surprised, I think. They had 2 close losses, one against Southern Skies and the other one against Manly Mixed. So they'll be looking to at least turn in a victory here this morning.
Yeah, for sure. Close margins, though. They lost on Universe against Manly Mixed 14-15 and then Southern Skies 13-15. As we have a look at the Chile roster, first time we've seen them on the stream this tournament, based out of Melbourne. There's a lot of new names here that we haven't seen at the Division 1 level, so I'm keen to see what Chile have got to show in this tournament. Their results yesterday were 0-2, but, you know, the margins weren't too bad. Southern Skies was a 9-15 and then a close one against Manly 13-15.
So a good day for them, really. Younger team, still building their experience and their abilities on the field. So another challenge here for them today, and we see the standings as we were just talking about. Half Moon probably a little bit surprised to be 0-2. However, congratulations to all teams. You're all going to the quarters by default.
Yeah, so, the pool play games in this tournament is a bit of an opportunity to test out your structures and your strategy and, see what works going into the bracket play. And Half Moon starting out on offense in the light kit. Lochnan, who was pivotal yesterday, involved in almost every score for Half Moon, is the Axis handler back. And an open undercut by Rob Andrews. Goes high to jump. So just keeping it on the open side at the moment, but Chile doing well to squeeze the channel, and a high shot goes up to Kat Phillips. Assist by Weatherall to get things going early for Half Moon.
And a good look, I think, there. Phillips in a bit of space, and Weatherall, I don't think, intended for so much height, but it works out in the end as it had a fair amount of distance, so it led Phillips into the end zone for her to catch for the first score of this game. I think coming back to the standings, where everything sits. It's largely academic, given that all the teams will go to the quarterfinals, and really it just determines their matchup, who they're going to pull from the other pool. And in the other pool, it's been a different story in that the results are a little bit more spread. Wollongong Crank top over there at 2-0. And then Newcastle Piewagon and Umami out of Sydney, they both 1-1 and sitting in the middle. And then Brisbaneites mixed, they're 0-2 down the bottom. So we'll catch up with the Piewagon and Brisbaneites game in the next time slot. And that will have a bit of bearing, I think. Brisbaneites, it'll be their opportunity to lift their standing and potentially change their matchup into the quarters.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a home team advantage as well. Probably used to these more humid and hot conditions. So looking forward to the rest of the day. Plenty of awesome streams here brought to you by Ulti TV in conjunction with the Australian Flying Disc Association. We've got Chile now working the open side up to Lee. A very small pass upfield to Sia. Oh, and that one's a missed opportunity. The dump set just not working out. Half Moon sprint to get in position in front of the disc. Rob Andrews, none of them looking good, but Lowe does a little 1-2, shimmies up line. And Lowe goes up line. Grimlar covers that. And, a very close speed by Valancourt. Gets to the disc first. Jamie Valancourt again on the board early for Half Moon.
A new player for Half Moon this season. And they've really prioritised getting her into scoring positions. There's been quite a few times where they've just put the disc on her advantage and let her go get it. And I think another one there, tight defence for Chile Chimichanga. Mickael gets it done. First break of the game as well, Averell. So 2-0 for Half Moon early in the ascendancy.
Yeah, starting nicely, Half Moon. Pretty classic attacking the open side. I have to say, though, not a bad defensive effort by Chile so far. Both of the Half Moon scores, they've had a very narrow channel on that open side. So they are doing well to narrow the, defensive focus there and cause a little bit of pressure just by closing down the space.
Similar to yesterday, no wind to speak of, which was how it was yesterday morning. It was only in the afternoon that there was some breeze, and generally it's the breeze that can create a little bit of interest in some of those throws and require some bigger margins.
So vert stack set up by Chile. Cuts coming from the front so far. Fakes along, but looks for the dump. Cheng in the centre field. A nice around break to Payne. Oh, and here goes the inside flick, but that one is way too low for Kodo Tuwaku. So Half Moon with another opportunity here to break. Tan goes on an undercut. And she is looking for a weather roll. Too easy. No pressure whatsoever from Chile Chimichanga. And Half Moon early lead up 3-0.
Working out for Half Moon at the moment. They're just putting enough pressure defensively on Chile Chimichanga. Forcing some tight throws. And first thing in the morning, it's a tough ask against some intense defense. Going the other way, they just able to find that isolation. Eva Weatherall, a nose for the end zone. She is a deadly, deadly player. 3-0. I think this is more in line with the expectations that Half Moon had, wanting to change their fortunes around after a hard day yesterday.
Yeah, and stamp their authority early. I think they were slow to get going against Manly in their first game, so a way to change their fortunes potentially with the sun also shining down fortuitous for them. So Rob Andrews will take this pull. Plenty of experience, as we know, lots of Australian representative caps here on Half Moon. And that's a huge pull, lots of float. And the
might not stay in bounds.
Yeah, the wind just gusting up a little bit, pushing this one out of bounds. So Chile able to start off here on the brick mark.
You didn't quite get enough of that. Get it over the top. Get a bit of outside in on it. It just held inside out all the way. So they get it from the brick mark.
Allen, disc in hand. Grimar makes the first move, covered. Comes in for a little dishy. And a nice undercut there by main guy. Oh, and there's going to be a call and a discussion there. Actually, numbers are wrong. I don't recognise. Do you know the guy in the cap?
I'll say the propeller hats are an image. And game advisor Nate Hess on the...
Yo, Chili. Chili.
But had he already qualified?
Just want to check some numbers.
Yeah.
Helicopter cat. Helicopter 88. Who's that? No, 88. This here. Coco. Oh, that is main guy. Yeah. Okay. So main guy brings it in, and an inside channel, tiny but saved by Allen. And there is a call as a stall out call. It's going to be a little bit more discussion now as we hold up play.
It's going to be a turnover. The stall out accepted.
So Andrews goes around to Lochnan. Open undercut. Well done by Hamilton. Oh, and that one is too hot for Lochnan to handle. Chen picks up. Moving together. Again, Allen, that strike up line, successful. Too narrow a channel, so has to go around. Yap. Inside between two defenders. And an around break to Lee and Chile are on the board. 1-3.
That's much better by Chile. They just tested the defense and they hung with it. They got the short resets. And I think that was the key point there for them, in able to keep the stall count going, keep it low. Once they got it back, they finally settled into some sort of offensive rhythm.
Yeah, they did well after a couple of calls, a bit of chat. As you see here, just some nice flow here on the... This was a nice catch there, sandwiched between two handlers, and then that immediate break continuation. So just goes to prove how valuable it is to get the disc on the break side. Opens up the field for the downfield cutters.
And the poach not working out for Half Moon, as it did leave some space. Then got ably attacked. Nice awareness. Knowing where the space is on the field and running there. This is going to be first, or second actually, defensive point for Chili Chimichanga.
Hey, who's 93? Helicopter. Not on field at the moment.
And now they go to
just
work.
tell me later. Thanks.
Oh,
Oh, and that was just pain standing in the space, and just a bit of an unexpected block, to be honest.
It just went through some players, and now
A long shot by Cheng, looking for Ong, and Ong receives it well, and Chile pick a break back, early days.
love to see it. Gareth Chang just deciding to put it in the air.
That was a surprising result, a bit of a surprise block as well. Payne was just happened to be in the space.
Yeah, look, it was a calamity on offense, and then I think we need to see more of this for Chili Chimichanga. Gareth Chang just deciding, I'm going to trust my players and put the disc in the air. Because you may as well. No need to give too much respect. You can play too. So love that out of Chili Chimichanga.
Yeah, I
Deep
agree.
cut by Shannon Ong as well. Just to go and attack the end zone. demand some respect of your own.
Yeah. And like you say, you've got nothing to lose, right? Half Moon, seated top of their pool, defending champions, Chile, developing team, a few of these guys first time at Division 1 level. The fact that they're still playing their game, they're not shying away from the occasion. They're saying, you know what? We're going to play our game and play our best Frisbee, and whatever the result is, whatever the result. But I really like the confidence shown by Chile early days. So a pull and low elects to catch that one in on the corner to centre it quickly to Chen, upfield to Maehr, moving it very quickly. Phillips now past half field. Low makes an undercut. And now we're short field in the red zone, but stuck on that far sideline, and he squeezes an up line there. That is to Truong. A point was over as quick as you like.
Yeah, one-way traffic there with Half Moon uncorking a bit of offensive poetry. It flew down the field in flow. And Chimichangas struggled really to put much of a break on there. It's hard in conditions like this, as every throw is open to a competent thrower, and Half Moon is certainly that. Very, very competent with disc in hand. So defensively, what do? Hard question, maybe you transition, but the offensive possession was, 6 passes, so they were already outside of a kind of a transitional 5-pass zone anyway. Yep. So I'm not sure the answers are there. Perhaps it's the good old run more, run harder.
Yeah, potentially. I think that Half Moon, they just didn't hold the disc for very long, right? All of those throws were before stall 3 even counted. The fact that their cuts were prepared and already in the space when the players were ready to throw, very, very difficult to stop. So, yeah, I think just the speed of disc movement, in addition to the speed of the legs, but the speed of the disc movement is probably the hardest part to try and deter at the moment. As Payne and Newton work it together in the handler space. The vert stack takes a little while to get going for Chile, but they do move it well. Fakes along. Most options covered, so the feel and a nice inside flick here to Mahanti. Oh, and that open side, can he get there? Good bid, but not early enough. Oh, and sells a house, but throws it anyway, Andrews. And that one is going out the back too far for Gen 10.
Too much. Familiar story actually from yesterday where Rob Andrews was having a lot of difficulty calibrating the howitzer. He couldn't get the artillery in on target. It was long at times, so continuing to struggle to find that range.
You can see the Chile vertical stack on screen. Front of stack quite far away, so the last point they started with movement from the front. This time there's cut from the back of stack from Kota Tawaku. Looked off, small dump behind to Payne. Now has a nice open under from Pung. Fakes off the open under again. Tiny dishy up line to Payne. Payne goes a long, flat flick. Huck makes it almost to Mahanti, but Weatherall gets horizontal. Lockton picks up line strike by Lee. Andrews on the sideline. She doesn't want him. Back to Lockton. Moves it upfield and a quick flick. Huck. Weatherall, yes, and she goes.
Wow, what a throw by Bill Foreman. And either Weatherall has, there are no superlatives that cannot be used with that player. She is an amazing athlete and will always go get the Frisbee. I think Foreman knew that, and he's pretty much just thrown this as hard as he could. Come back to the Weatherall block, which was the other half of her double happiness. And then here's the Foreman Huck, right? So he sees Weatherall going, and he just pretty much puts everything he's got on it and lets Weatherall go get it, because he knows that overthrowing Eva Weatherall is a pretty big task. What a score.
Yeah,
special.
But again, the disc movement very quick for Half Moon, right? They are throwing probably at stall 1, stall 2, hasn't even hit 3 on the stall count. And that is just so difficult because your defender has to recognise what's going on and then adjust. And that takes time. And when you've only got a second to do so, really not possible there. So Half Moon, some of their scores coming from the long game and some from the small ball. I think Chile just going to have to choose to stop one thing, force Half Moon to do what they want and then try to get a sniff. But we have Lee here working with Alan. And a couple of cuts coming from Stack. Main guy is hit in the chest. And a nice look by Quintero there. Dumps it off to Alan. This one floats a little bit. Trapped well.
Sua's been important in getting those resets.
Yeah, so main guy now on this close sideline goes a very vertical hammer, but Jesse Lee somehow reads that disc. What a play by Chimichanga.
That's worked out. Credit, I think, to Jesse Lee, who has made that look so much better than what it was. That hammer has gone straight up in the air and then moving away, goes with the layout to catch the trailing edge. The difficulty cannot be overstated. What a catch. That's incredible. And Chimichanga, they needed that one.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take your chances. And main guy was stuck on this close sideline. The stall count was probably getting to 8 or thereabouts. Goes a lefty hammer, very vertical disc, so difficult. But he just said, look, I'm just going to chuck it into the space. Hopefully someone can get there. If they don't, at least we've got a little bit of field position. So I like Chile's, I guess, aggressiveness or confidence to just go for it.
Yeah, I think to catch that, Jesse Lee, that's insane balance, coordination, is the lefty hammer is moving away and it's just so much harder to catch in that direction than if that hammer was thrown right-handed. I mean, he's a left-handed thrower, so it's the only thing he's got from there.
Yeah, but like you said, it's going to fade away towards the sideline, right? But because he put so much, but because it was so vertical, it didn't actually float too much and enough space for Jessie to get her hands underneath the disc. So a nice floaty pull. They get decent field position. Trong, Andrews. Oh, and that is a miscue, a slight overthrow to Hamilton. So Half Moon just letting a couple of easy ones slip.
Chimichangas, they're getting some opportunities on Half Moon. Half Moon haven't been quite as clinical as we might expect.
And centres. And they go another flat huck, so they've been favouring this option, but this time Hamilton is wiser. Foreman, is he going to go a big flick huck? Of course he does. Why not when you've got Rob Andrews in the space? Much taller than his opponent, Cheng, and Half Moon. Much cleaner on that second offensive possession.
Yeah, much, much better. And Bill Foreman is currently racking up the throwing stats. This time, reaching out to Rob Andrews. What a big throw, I think. One adjustment that probably needs to come is there needs to be a little bit more awareness of the huck in the early stall counts. So maybe a little bit more straight up. It is going to create problems for you holding the disc on one side, but I think they need to put some pressure on these deep throws because it's the choice of getting scored on in, say 6 passes or getting scored on in 1 at the moment. And I think that they need to force more passes right now.
That's right. Meters gained, right? It's too efficient when they're throwing these long options, and most of their goals have come from hucks or at least hucks in the chain of possession. Half Moon, they have made errors already, right, in this game. So if you just play the percentages, get them to throw and catch a few more times, then percentages, you're going to have a higher chance of causing a turnover.
Love a bit of stats talk, and we get to it here in Ultimate, having some analysis.
So Kat Phillips with the pull and a little extra float up. Well received by Allen, who goes across to Sweat. Grimoire looked off. Dump behind to Allen. Swear. Grimoire. Grimoire's got a cannon and a lefty backhand hark. Searching for main guy who's got 2 to beat, but Lee beats them all.
Chimichanga having a great deal of success when they trust themselves and when they go to it. And as you say, Grimoire has uncorked a huge lefty backhand. It's sat up there nicely. She's got really good purchase on the disc, got a lot of revs on it. And so you've seen it's just continued to fly. I think Summer's expecting it to come down a little bit sooner than it did. And, well, it was Jessie Lee again with the impeccable read. First it was a lefty hammer, now it's a lefty backhand. Clearly some experience for these southpaws, knowing where the disc is going to go.
Yeah, and favouring the connections with the lefty handlers so far as well. So always good to see some variety here in the game. But Jessie Lee, what a pickup for Chile. I believe she's from New South Wales originally and has spent a little bit of time in Melbourne in the more recent years. So keep an eye on the up-and-comer, Jessie Lee.
Yeah, handy player, knows her way around the Frisbee field.
You can see a lovely angle here on the replay. So just gets sucked underneath both defenders and Lee just guns it long, knowing that there's scraps available. A nice pull goes up from Cody Tawaku. Lachlan receives to Maehr. Quickly up to Ruiz. And Trong with a skip step. Very nice up line. And Andrews again in the deep space. Too easy for Half Moon. Barely 4 seconds in that offensive chain.
Yeah, they need to get more pressure. I think it's just too much time, I think, for the throwers and not enough pressure on the mark, because at the moment they're kind of taking whatever plan A is, that's what they're getting. So yeah. Chile Chimichangas, they need to force Half Moon into plan B or plan C, force them to recycle the disc some, because at the moment it's 1 out, 1 cut, 1 pass, 1 score.
Yeah, agreed. And with that momentum, it's just too easy to play Frisbee for sure. And Trong here, like I said, they don't do too badly to trap them in that close channel, but with throwers like Half Moon, you've really got to be wary of those long options. They've got to do something to try to at least deter or prevent or make them look twice at that longer game. I'd like to see perhaps, some strategic adjustment here, potentially a bracket or maybe a zone look or just something different to just give them a different look.
With that, we're nearly at half time.
Yeah, it's certainly very efficient. Almost 24 minutes on the clock now. And Foreman, a nice pull there. Bounces into the hands of Allen. Swear.
Oh, they're in trouble.
Oh, that's a nice high release flick. Goes over. So Half Moon have set a zone here. So just making Chile throw a few more passes. Trapped on this close sideline in that 4-person cup. Again, the high release flick over the top of the cup. Allen fakes a backhand. They're coming back to this trap side and relying on their throws to get them out of trouble at the moment. Yap, a hammer up top to Ong, but that one in and out of the hands. So the zone very effective for Half Moon to generate the block. Foreman, open side to low. There's someone deep. But he elects for the mid-range shot to Weatherall. Weatherall looks deep and hits Jamie Valancourt on the chest. Way too easy, and Half Moon take half, 8-4.
Yeah, incredible. That's a really, really nice half of Ultimate, and I want to shout out either Weatherall, 2 assists, 2 goals, and a block to a name in the first half. That's a performance, and Jamie Valancourt as well, 2 goals. Between the two of them, contributing heavily to this Half Moon lead at the moment, where they've taken half, 8-4. It's a great showing at the moment. I think Chile Chimichanga's there. But I feel like they're close, right? I feel like there's got to be some small adjustments that they could make that could get them a little bit more success. Because there's been some turnovers. There's been some opportunities. And as in Ultimate, you've got to do something with them. So it's not just create the opportunities, it's then turn them around. And I think they can do something with the opportunities. They just need more of them.
Yeah, agreed. I think their offense has actually looked pretty good. They're, hitting the chest. They're playing patient most of the time. Just have some weapons in Weatherall generating those blocks. But yeah, if they can mix some things up on D and just keep the half-moon offensive line out there a little bit longer, like I said, percentage play, make them throw more, make them look twice, maybe they've got a sniff here. So half-moon, either Weatherall contributing to half of their scores. They take half 8-4. Make sure you stay tuned for the other side as we see a few fun and games here. I think it might be a AFL ball, a little bit atypical in Queensland here, but see you on the other side in this pool play match, day 2 at the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships.
I'm a bit too much, but I'm finding it. When I'm at the top, I just wanna play. If you are looking for one hell of a ride, just come and get it. Baby, I'm all yours. Come and get it, 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 come and get it. If you are looking for one hell of a ride, just come and get it. Baby, I'm all yours. Want your kisses in the morning light. Wanna be next to you every night. No, I shouldn't love you, but I might. 'Cause your lips, they taste like cherry wine. You're no good for me. We're so bittersweet, but I still want you. I do. Baby, can't you see what you do to me? I just can't resist you. You got me drunk in love, I
We are back. Second half. Pool A game at the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships Division 1. Half Moon up 8-4 against Chimichanga. Two mostly Melbourne-based teams here facing off in the sunny Beenleigh, Queensland. Lee, who was a huge part, picking up some very nice scraps in that first stanza. A nice high grab by Grimoire against some heated defense, but this one is an overthrow, but scraps caught. Chimichanga making sure to clean up all the extra sauce. Swear a lovely spot up to main guy. So Chimichanga on the board in the second half, sorry.
Yeah, the zone not working for Half Moon. It's interesting. I feel like there's some tweaks that Chile will need to make on their zone offense. At the moment, the handlers are a little bit spread, and they're taking an odd line when they receive the disc. So they need to be a little bit more direct, get up the field, get into the cup. Apart from that, the wind at the moment is just allowing those easy, loopy throws. Josh Phillip, he's just arrived, pulled on his cleats and nearly got himself a block. But certainly that is the look that Half Moon will need to be aware of on defense, is that floating, swinging pass that the wing might need to be aware of and might even be able to get a hold of.
I think, interestingly, the Chile offense were taking a leaf out of Half Moon's book. They were moving the disc quickly. Like, I don't think there was more than stall 3 or 4 and the disc had already moved to the next player. So I think that was really well done by Chile. Like I said, inspired by Half Moon's quick-moving offense in the first half. And that disc rolls out the sideline. Valancourt to pick up. Centres to Hamilton. Through the middle to Cheng. 1-2 with Valancourt. Moves upfield to Trong. So Chile came out with a zone look here. Haven't managed to slow Half Moon down too much. Slow Half Moon down too much yet. Hamilton forces his way through the cup. Valancourt, high release to Trong. On the doorstep now. Plenty of fakes for that high release, but disc is still in hand. Valancourt on the sideline. Moves it back. Hamilton, low. Hamilton. Ruiz. And a quick flick to Valancourt. Beautifully done by Half Moon, not deterred at all by Chile's zone.
And there's Ruiz popping up at a critical moment, critical juncture. And Half Moon, yeah, the most passes that they've had to throw all day to get a score there. I don't mind it from Chimichanga. They've come with a little bit of a zone look, and I think that whilst it didn't look likely, there wasn't really much pressure on. I do think that some success might lie in some of these wrinkles, some of these changes, forcing Half Moon to adjust on the fly.
Yeah, I think the tempo, right? Half Moon have just been playing it on their own terms. So putting out a zone, although like you said, not likely or didn't look likely to get a block, at least it grasps some of that tempo, slows Half Moon down, keeps them out on the pitch a little bit longer than those previous points. Just a small win there for Chile defense. So Chile, they've got 2 coaches who have attended the tournament in support, so making some strategic adjustments are Nigel Wu and Douglas Faithful. Can be quite helpful having a non-playing coach just to give that extra input. I think strategic adjustments are a nice small win for the coaching staff. So high pull, received, and move up quickly. Jorgensen with a one-handed grab. Allen clears the space, goes up line. Oh, and 2 hands, but too spicy for main guy. Summers picks up, long hark, lots of float. And trying to keep it in is Phillips. It's going to be a call whether that was in or out. And I think Wes Allen also thought that he was fouled as well on that bid. So the replay here, you can see Phillip. To me, it looks like his left foot was on or out of the line, and that is the eventual outcome of that call. So Grimoire on her own. So they've gone for a diagonal stack, 1-6. Nice upline there to Yap. Centers it to Quintero. Just dump back. Oh, and foul immediately accepted by Philip. Allen with the disc. Cross to Yap. Stack very far away. Quintero makes an open side cut, but he finds main guy on the inside flick. Suspiciously free, maybe due to a pick. Stays with main guy. Looking for Yap. Andrews, tight dump defense. Around to Grimoire. Goes a blading flick, perfectly shaped for Jorgensen and Chile. Another score brings it up to 6-9.
I feel like they need to get Yuffie Grimoire more in the play. She is looking deadly with those throws, and she's just picking out targets at the moment. I think that there's some success there. If Chili Chimichangas can create some one-out looks where Yuffie Grimoire is getting the disc, I think they could potentially mount a comeback here on offense.
They're looking really good when they can get the disc on the break side. So Yap had that around backhand to get it to Grimoire, who immediately continues. Jorgensen with very sticky hands. We saw her earlier in the point, as we see here. So this around backhand. Then Grimoire here, lefty flick, just a perfect shape there. Meant that it came inbounds for Melody Jorgensen. And to the break side, like you say, they got chances on offense to get some easy scores.
Defensively, Chile, I think they need to bring another wrinkle. Not go back to what they used previously, but certainly I don't think sticking with matches is the way to go.
Yeah, maybe they've got a couple of other zone shapes up their sleeve, but unfortunately that pull not too far downfield.
They do bring another zone.
Yeah, slip passes. So they have been mindful to make sure they contain those deep shots, which Half Moon were doing so well earlier. But Hamilton finds Foreman on the sideline here. Zone having to drop, contain. A nice inside backhand to Hamilton. Lockton. He's holding it for no mark, but a beautiful shape there to Foreman. Just pinpoints and shoots. Easy for Half Moon. Bring it up.
I want you all to watch Ollie Lockton here. He just sums up the situation. He's in the red zone, and then Bill Foreman's in the end zone. And so with no stall on, Lockton just taking his time, just waiting, and practically just watching what Bill Foreman was going to do. Once Bill Foreman heads to the sideline, Lockton just puts it on him. Easy score.
Yeah, as we see on the replay, as you call down, there's no mark to speak of. So there's no rush. Hold on to, and then as you see, Bill Foreman initially slashes across, spies him out, and also using a nice dish shape similar to Grimoire in the previous point, just to target precisely into the chest. So this is the downside of having that saggy zone, is that you are letting the handlers really have anything they like. They were doing well to prevent the initial long look, but when the field gets shorter, very difficult to protect that space.
And that's where you need to transition out of your zone, because with no wind to speak of, all throws are open. And there it was a bladey forehand, but equally a scooper or a hammer or any kind of throw could have been chosen to complete the score there.
Yep. So Allen and Yap now moving together. Already made it about half field. Strike from the handler, Yap. High shot. Allen jumps up to receive. He's looking for that break side, so I like the intent there. Swear now. Assesses his options. A flat-ish mark by Lowe makes Grimoire reach down with the left hand. Around to the break side, but the continue is not on. Oh, and that is a fantastic D by Philip. Impact immediately. Summers up to Andrews. Phillips is open. He takes that shot. Upfield to Philip. Summers is going long. Oh, sorry, Andrews is going long, but Grimoire reads that better than everyone else. Moves it up to Yap. Rear Hakan main guy's got steps on Philip, and what a sprint by main guy. Says, I'm the main man here, and with a flourish as well. So Coco main guy putting on an absolute show. Philip, no slug at all, but just prepares that cut early.
I think I want to talk about the hours on the training field. Like this throw, you see, he's walked into it, but still he's thrown that some 70-odd yards on the forehand side. There's a lot of hours practicing that throw to get it to come out so nice, so flat, so controlled. And wow, that's a great throw. Very, very hard to complete. Nice cut in the end by Corrington main guy.
Yeah, you can see main guy just on your right here. So he starts this cut much shorter. And if you're a newer Frisbee player, working on your cuts and your timing, this is the way to do it. Make sure you leave plenty of space out the back to run onto and let your thrower throw you into space. So very nice passage of play by Chile. Half Moon, move it up to Dotley. Undercut by Truong. And a long option to Hamilton. Ooh, goes up with the one hand, bounces out the palm. He's had good position, but the blade on that disc just making it difficult to trap. So you have Fionn Summers walking the disc up. Very spread out stack here. The front of stack is covered, so Chung is poaching in that lane. Kota Tuatu just gets a bit confused with Pang. Ooh, but that's a turn over immediately from Valancourt. So Newton has snuck out the back. Chung now catches up to cover. Very heated defense. Pang now involved. Summers provides a dump option, that awkward shape on that disc. So flurry of turnovers here. Main Half Moon end up with the disc in the red zone.
Lockman, I think, doing the right thing here, slowing it down.
Yeah, a flattish mark here. Interesting choice. Easy open to Valancourt and Dotley with the perfectly timed continue. Apologies, Jen Tan with a perfectly timed continue there for an easy score for Half Moon.
Perfect, really, for a red zone offense. You set it up, you slow it down. Player in space, Molly Valancourt, knowing that she's the isolated player. So she works to space, gets it here, and then the continuation cut from Jen Tan is well timed. So as she's looking up, Tan is already heading to the sideline, and hard to play defense on that. You see most of the defense set up on the other side. So when the break is away, you've got to get containment back fast. Half Moon too quick with the disc. They don't give you much opportunity.
As you say, that is a textbook ISO play. So if you're a team working on your end zone, this is as classic as you get. Copy and paste that one into your playbook.
And an interesting choice for Half Moon. Often teams, when they're in the red zone, they will try and push for the score on the first pass. However, Half Moon electing to go shorter, put Valancourt in the middle of the field, and then she had momentum, and the defense was perhaps a little bit wrong-footed, or at least the angle of attack has changed. When the disc moves, the defense has to move to adjust, and they weren't able to do so quick enough.
The other point I wanted to make about that ISO play in the end zone is the position of the stack. So they set it across so there was both space on the inside and on the open side. Sorry. Oh, and a fantastic bid by Summers. Scrambles up to his feet. Yap with the inside. Summers with a second bid. Every time he gets, oh, and a third attempt. Summers' body on the line. Allen goes across to Swear. Try to settle things down for Chile. And an arcing around flick to the other side. Far corner. Does not connect. So Summers just throwing his body like a maniac.
Huge bit on his near sideline. He's shoulder height, getting after it. I didn't think that this was a critical moment like that, but he knows different. Oof.
Yeah, second bid, or fingertips away. As Maehr bringing it in from the close corner here. Moves across to Summers. Upfield to Low. And he goes along option, searching for Phillip. Perfectly placed. Now has to wait for the cavalry to arrive. Oh, and a fantastic layout deep by who other than Jessie Lee.
It's been a star today, Jessie Lee. She's now going to lay out block to go with her 2 scores.
Centers to Sweat. Quintero open under, looked off in favour for Grimoire on the break side. Oh, Grimoire, big wind up on that lefty backhand, searching for Allen, but Phillip smashes it out the sideline.
Big ups by Josh Phillip.
Cat Phillips, Josh Phillip, Theon Summers. Sorry, Chen and Summers. And Phillip is very far back, but a nice gainer upfield to Ruiz. Cutters are quite far away. One-handed, very casual by Ruiz. Quickly upfield to Weatherall, and on this break side, Phillips all day.
They've just got so many stars. They can beat you so many different ways. It's a hard task. Weatherall seeing Phillips going, and back to the replay.
And as you see, once Half Moon get it to this break side, Chile just scrambling, unable to cause any pressure or containment. In the end, the big shot by Grimoire does not work out, and then Half Moon work it all the way the opposite way.
Great use of the break side by Half Moon. Uncorked by the pass initially to Riz, who was able to catch and then keep the continuation going to Weatherall. 12-7. Half Moon out in front. After a series of trades. Another break.
Foreman with a big pull. Plenty of height and also some shape here to make sure that it wasn't caught on the full. Chile do well to move it up. This one makes him stretch, but stretches the hands and traps a disc. Just a small one into the cup to reset. Doesn't like the upfield look. Now gets one up line to Summers. Nice hole through the gap to Cheng. Summers and Chen working together, faking a big huck. Summers sells the cup. Oh, and a D by Valancourt. Jamie gets upstairs.
He got punished. He tried to take liberties, and he deserved.
And Foreman with a bladey flick. That one lands on Dotley's toes with a couple of defenders closing fast. It's a bit of a giveaway there from Half Moon.
Highly aggressive play by Foreman. The field is still broken. The defense hasn't clarified. Yet he takes the shot. It's it's ambitious, and I get the sense that Half Moon wanting to just push their advantage at the moment.
Yeah, they want to get this game done nice and early, get out of this heat. But Chile trying to apply a bit of heat of their own on offense here. A nice chain of movement here. Oh, and another D from the cup. Lee this time. Tan with the disc, throws Valancourt into space. A beautiful passage of play from the Half Moon Juniors here.
And another score for Jamie Valancourt. Her 4th of the game, leading all scorers for Half Moon. A real focus of their attack, going in the direction of Valancourt regularly. At this stage, it's back-to-back breaks for Half Moon. A little bit of a breeze, which is knocking some of the humidity out of the air. It's a very humid day. Oh, that is just an awful height to try and deal with, I swear. Odd offensive set for Chile Chimichanga. All the receivers downfield are lined up along the end zone line. Given that they're so close to the red zone, seems so ambitious. Yeah, working around the edge there. She's put in the hard shift. Got to it. Well, it's finally an offensive hold. It came way of several turns, but you take them any way you can get them at this stage. Down 13-8 with that score. Coming back, it's the deep throws for Half Moon. They're pressing at the moment. They're quite aggressive on offense, and I think Chile Chimichanga has started to realise how hard Half Moon are pressing, because the throw to Weatherall was semi-not on. Grimoire was in the area, and it put a lot on Weatherall's plate to try and track that down. And then the result is coming back the other way. Jessie Lee getting on the assist this time instead of catching the goal, combining with Melody Jorgensen. That's well executed. When you want a roller, you want it to roll and then go out the sideline. It's been executed perfectly. Yeah, Cat Phillips. I'm not sure any other players that could have got to that are probably on Half Moon. So in consideration, a good throw for Will Hamilton, but that is an athletic play by Phillips. It was low, it was hard, and it was going away with the wind, so acquiring a lot from the receiver. Works out perfectly. And Rob Andrews, the class act, acknowledging the big play. Andrews, he thought he had it, and he probably did have it. It looks like it popped out of the hands, and main guy with enough pressure. They're going to run it back. They're going to run it back and go back to the well, and Rob Andrews has just leveled the ledger.
And a big blading huck to main guy, tries to go for the second bid, but earns a squash from Andrews. Injury called.
It's the fifth turnover of the point. It's scrappy now. Half Moon pressing for the win.
Upline Cheng overthrown. Payne races to pick it up, but there's a call accepted there from Summers, so Andrews will get it back.
Andrews needed that. Can't have a sixth turnover. You need to treasure the disc at the moment. You need to punch this in, because if you're going to go deep in the tournament, you're going to need to save some legs.
Trong goes a backhand. Everall in the space, but Lee's catching up. But Weatherall too good, and that is game. Half Moon take this one against Chile Chimichanga, 14-8.
What a game by Eva Weatherall. 3 assists, 3 goals, 2 blocks. Catching the winning score. What a performance by her.
Yeah, performance by their female matching players, Eva Weatherall and, of course, Jamie Valancourt with 4 goals and a block. They've been absolutely huge in this pool play game. So we see Trong extending. Just such good balance on that throw, and Weatherall steps in front. Lee does catch up, but Weatherall just stands in the space, uses the body to protect any incoming bid. And Philip, what a time to arrive. Wasn't available yesterday, but arrives this morning, gets straight on and immediately effective. So I'm sure Half Moon making a very big run at defending their title in this tournament.
What a game to start. 7 breaks in the end, 14 turns on one side, 20 on the other. It's a bit of a scrappy game where plenty of opportunities for both teams, but at the end of the day, it was the clinical nature of Half Moon. They were able to score more than their opponents. So that wraps us up here for this game.
Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned to the Ulti TV channel, the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships Division 1. We will have our next game at 11 a.m. local time, so just shy of an hour. We'll see you for the next one.
Ulti.tv.
Most of the time I've got a shot.